Yeah, the call wild's always bringing me home. Call wild's always bringing me home. Call wild's always bringing me home.
Well, hello, wild ones. Welcome to another episode of the Find Your Wild podcast. I'm so excited to have Amit here from Teas of Wildlife or Teas for Wildlife. How are you doing
Wow.
today?
Namaste. I'm
Yeah.
really great. Thank you so much, first of all, to giving this platform to, put out my project, and it really means a lot.
Oh, no
Thank you for
problem. We chatted a little bit the other day, so I'm so excited for people listening to be able to hear and learn a little bit more about what you do. And I also have one of your teas here today, which is delicious. I'm drinking the ginger, citrus ginger hand rolled green tea. And the artwork is so beautiful on there too. So I'm very
so,
excited.
yeah. So, just an introduction, as you can see, like Teas for Wildlife, it's a project which is dedicated for wildlife, and as a wildlife photographer, I have started my journey, and I really think that when I was like looking at those rare species into the forest, I was hearing the drum rolls of tea gardens, and
Mhm.
just a few meters away there were railway track. Just a few meters away there was a coffee plantations. So I
Mhm.
figured, like as a normal person, I was not some wildlife expert, but I could see what these animals have to go through if they need to migrate or move to another forest. And same
Right.
thing, like I I had a friend at the same time. Her name is Joy Wujuk. She's from Ohio, and she's
Mhm.
like, I also find out there are elephant dying in tea plantations. So she's like, we should do something. So we started a project, Elephant Accrued, because as we see, like everybody's saying these days, save animals, but whoever is saying that they only NGOs, National Geographic, all the basically all the organizations worldwide, mostly working in the private sector or in the reserve forest, which is hardly
Mhm.
like 2-3% of the whole pop, like total land mass of the whole country. So it's
Wow.
basically
Yeah.
really small portion of the country, which is still taken by safaris, private resorts, tours and stuff. So the thing about like the peace is not there for animals. They always find the neighbor tea or coffee spice plantation as a second home. So we started by like going to big people, big plantations, and they were like, well, we only, we only deal with the certification agency who comes in the BMW and black cars and cars. And I was like, we are just starting out of passion, so we couldn't do that for. But then we find out like instead of going to those big fishes, let's connect with somebody smaller who's already doing the efforts because not everybody's same. So we found one farmer in South India. Her name is Sajiv. So Mr. Sajiv, when I visited him first time, he lost like 1 hectare of the banana plantation. And even after losing that, he was like still smiling. He's like, yeah, it's okay. Ganesha eats my banana. He was just hungry. So you see the
Aw.
roots of the culture is there. It's connected. And the person is still, not going crazy behind elephants just because that happened. So we
Yeah.
kind of feel obligated to, at least change a person's life with the project. And of course, it's more like wildlife, and it's all about coexistence. And
Right.
as like our culture teaches us a lot about coexistence, so you feel happy that you already have that help helpness. Like people really want to not harm wildlife, but they don't have any
Yeah.
option. So with little bit of help, that was very easy. So this Mr. Sajiv was growing such amazing organic teas with a lot of fruit trees, even more trees like bamboo plantations, so elephants can have a snack on the way through the, crossing the plantation. So we also see the next plantation to Mr. Sajiv was using all this chemical pesticides and stuff, and
Mm.
still like they both, the chemical guy and Mr. Sujio, they're both selling their leaf to the big factories for almost like a less than $1 per kilo. It's almost like
Wow.
2.2 pounds. So,
Wow.
and the profit is same no matter you're doing good for the nature or you're doing like chemicals, and still the factory is selling it as organic certified tea upfront.
Right.
So then you really see on the ground that those organic certifications and stuff mostly just a number, and it's just a piece of paper on the wall. It's when the reality is way different, and as other plantations, I mean, other certification agencies, it's more like they connect with the bigger guys and they say we will not buy your
Right.
tea in Europe. So these bigger guys basically put those certifications on the smaller people, and by the end they just find a third way, the way around that certificate. So it's
Right. I think.
basically, yeah,
Yeah, I was just going to add, this is what I found really interesting about when we first talked about this, the label of organic and how it's more of a marketing ploy than anything else. And like you said, it doesn't necessarily help the farmers that are down working with the tea itself, and how it's actually very expensive too to get that.
absolutely. Like I'm not saying any certifications are bad or anything, but the thing is
Sure.
there's these people have found the way around. Like for example, like just like a tea garden is certified as a fair trade. Of course, they will show you the papers that they're paying their farmers very well. But the tea plantation, which have a one factory, is only using the leaf, which is like 25% of their own leaf. All the
Mm,
75% leaf is coming from other small farmers, which are not in the papers, which are not, fair trade certified. So you
mm.
don't know where how these companies operates, and unless until you're there, you cannot go in
It's
BMW once a year and certify them and
right.
then think like, oh yeah, they're doing great things. And just the basic thing, like of course, like people, just United Nations last year, they only find out about they there are a lot of uneducated women in those plantations and coffee plantations and stuff, and which is like kind of obvious because no machine pluck as good as a woman do. So they want the future generations to be uneducated so they can have future laborers. They're not
Wow.
investing much, and that's so obvious. But yeah, there it's a slow improvement, but it's a lot that need to be done.
It's hard when those
Yeah,
things sneak through, right? Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like under the radar, and then
yeah.
how do
Because
consumers be able to find that? So,
yeah,
yeah.
because like American Association of Tea, from European Association to the English Association of Tea, they all use women holding a basket as a logo, but what is really happening into the plantations? So back to the soju story, we kind of like
Oh yeah.
approach with that, and like how. So we connect with Joy, of course, he's a tea expert, and we kind of come up with the idea of making them like start hand rolling the teas because we don't have the equipment and stuff that we can establish a different factory, but we have
Mhm.
manpower there. So few farmers, they came together and start hand rolling their teas, making one of the smoothest green tea. This year we also submitted to the World Tea organizations like World Tea Expo in Las Vegas. We submitted our samples and hopefully we will win. So they started hand rolling, and it it, it turns out it's more silky, zero bitterness. It's like smoothest tea you can have with the highest antioxidants because they are still preserved without, because when you roll with machines, the heat absorbs, of course, destroy a lot of antioxidants. So the quality of tea was very, very high and still like with a lot of refinement. So the end of the day, the guy is earning like $25 per kilo out of that
It's
same
amazing.
$1. Yes. And of course we don't need to wear the black suit and have a BMW to go to other people. Other people came to us. because those farmers are a lot more farmers, and they all come together. Now we have 80 plus farmers who are working together. They're hand rolling the teas. They have more, wild trees and wild, fruit trees in their plantations. They're growing in the same garden. They're growing roses. They're growing coffee, black pepper, to the tea, everything. So it's really amazing how things changed, and that which has boosted us to go further. And of course, that after COVID, we need to give up all that because of the health issues. We need to give up on the project Elephant Brood, and I felt like I need to explore more areas just than tea, which is coffee, which is
Right.
spices. And being from India, I know there are a lot of herbal medicines out there, and there are a lot of things which needed to be marketed that way. There are a lot of farmers which needed to be supported, which are still in the dark, and people really need to know what is good for them and what's the real good quality of the things. So I started Teas for Wildlife, and with my friend Healy Coyne, she's in LA, and together we had a vision like we will not just focus only on elephants and only on tea, because this is a way more bigger perspective. And also in future we like to expand more, because the biggest threat to the wildlife is the businessman. Either it's a
Yeah.
palm oil, it's a tea plantation, it's a coffee plantations. These all businesses are right next to the reserve forest. Tea don't grow in
Yeah.
Dubai, which has no wildlife. I mean, not as much as Amazon. Amazon have coffee, best coffee. India, the
Right.
Southeast India and Northeast India, they have the most amazing coffee and teas. Orangutans are the neighbor of the palm oil. So it's an annoying fact, but
Right.
somehow the money, the funding is there, and the whole organizations and all this aura of conservation, sustainability is all limited to the little points. Of course, like that is important, yes, but these are already have this small reserve forest. They already have their
Right.
DFOs, the Director General of Forest. They have guards. They have all kind of resources, and they still cannot protect that. The still poaching is happening, right? So
Wow.
you can only imagine what happened once the animals step outside of this reserve forest. So
Right.
it's really make it crucial, and I think we need to really work towards it to, because it's fine. There are 5,000 elephants in Assam, but it's a state of India. But
Yeah.
the quantity of elephants, this two reserve forests in Assam, so they only can hold maybe like 700 elephants. That's it. So
Wow.
the rest of the elephants just roam around from Bhutan to Southeast Asia and all these areas. And you really need to make sure that they return back safely without falling in some ditches or being hunted or
Right.
get in the conflict. So we
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say when we were chatting, and I love this focus on like conscious consumerism, right? You're starting at the bottom and it's helping in multiple ways, right? Like
Yeah.
you were talking about how the that even like with all these chemicals, the soil isn't as rich and fertile anymore, and doing it in this natural way, like you were saying, if there's pepper, and it's really also adding to not only the richness of the soil but the flavor of the teas, and helping these farmers and starting where they are locally, and getting, because that's, I feel like with most of my guests that I've had on already, is you have to start with the people that are having the interactions with these animals, the ones that are being directly affected by this, and which is why I love what you're doing. And I wanted to highlight that on some of these plantations, right? Is that what they're called? That they have
Yeah,
like these ditches for the runoff and the elephants get stuck in there?
absolutely. That's one example. So what we did is we established trees for wildlife, and then we connect with each blend. Like people love masala chai, so we get the black tea, which is the best in the world, is in Assam. Of course, the
Mm.
state which has the most elephants per square kilometer in the world. I mean, in Asian elephants. So we connect like each blend with a different animal. So kind of telling the story of the conservation. Because the end of the day, we want the person who's drinking tea in Canada, in America, in Europe, to know that this tea came from that much struggle for animals, also for the humans, because that's coexistence. So just a simple example of that there's a reserve forest which is in Assam called Kaziranga, and that's
Mhm.
situated on the bank of the river, which is widest river on the planet. If you can Google the biggest river island is in India. It's in Brahmaputra. That's a river. So of course it makes the river the widest if that contains the island which is the biggest in the world. And then
I'll try
there's
to add a picture too so
yeah,
people can see. Yeah.
yeah. And then there's a reserve forest which is also parallel to this river. Then there's a road which is deadly road. Because a lot of animals die crossing it. There's the tea plantations and there's mountains. So all these five things are like parallel to each other geographically. Each year when this river floods, the whole forest is basically flooded till 20 feet. If you go there, the guide will show you the trees which are full of mud till 20 feet height and 30 feet height sometimes. And
Wow.
everything from the snake to the beetle to the leopard, rhino. It is more popular for one-horned rhinoceros. It's only found in that part of India. I mean, in the world. So
Yeah.
it's only have one horn, and it's also endangered. So everybody moves towards the mountains, which is after crossing those road and the tea plantations. And what is happening that, of course, this they cross the road, which is like have very bad name, deadly road of the world and stuff. And then after they reach to this tea plantation, which has 6 feet deep trenches, which is so narrow, it's
Wow.
it's impossible because the vegetation is so rich. If anybody even fell in it, you cannot even see if it's there, or the rhino babies are falling, the elephant babies are falling, and each year they found more and more babies, and after they fall, either they kill them or this struggle cause a conflict because it's very very hard when it's dawn and then people come for work and the elephant get that they go really scary and they attack the villages and stuff.
Right.
So it's a crazy situation which is repeating itself. So
Right.
again, as a normal person, I went there and I see all these NGOs. Of course, they're doing great thing. They have a rescue center built, and they get those babies and they feed them. Of course, they need a special type of milk and all these things. But I I don't see anybody doing or smoothing those trenches or working in this tea plantation or solving the root problem because each year there are going to be more babies, there are going to be more donations going to these NGOs, but the
Right.
the main problem will be still there. There are no more babies dying, more conflicts is happening. So the basic fact was these NGOs don't. I don't know if they don't want to resolve the issues, but that can be easily done. Of course, the
Right.
tea plantation needs the trenches because when the waterfall comes after the rain, they need to, for erosion, they need to save them. But there are hundreds of type of technologies. You can smooth them, or you can make underground piping and stuff. So it's all can be
Right.
done.
Right.
Yeah. So to smooth out that flow, so your trees don't get destroyed. So we are planning on working with those plantations more to normalize that thing that it's okay that you have this problem, but it can be resolved instead of buying destroying one other piece of land, opening a hospital in a corridor, and claiming it as a conservation effort. So until unless that was happening, this is this continue business, which I think
Yeah.
it is. So we are working with some of the plantations. It's called Methoni Tea Estate, and the guy is really amazing. If you visit his plantation, you can see those same the, the the whole, because you cannot really plant on each corner of the place. So there's a little waterfall through the plantations, the rocky areas and stuff. So this guy turns it into cherry blossom trees. There are different banana trees and different type of bamboos, which I have seen the Bengal tiger in his plantation. Elephant always come, and they always go towards Nagaland. That's another Indian state. So it's quite amazing to support those people. It really let give the example to other plantations to work smarter, and calling, or because everybody else, whoever have those elephant falling and stuff, they all have organic certification, they all have rainforest alliance. Yes, we will not hurt animal and stuff, but you cannot be like, okay, I'm not gonna hurt this animal. But if the animal is chasing you like crazy, you can only, and those people who write these things are either sitting in America or England. They take their private jets, they go there, and they come back. The end of the day, the people who suffer are the farmers, the workers,
Right.
and those tribes who comes there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
so
missed connections from people that don't get to see India the way that you get to see India, which is why I really love what your focus is on. Because to me, it seems like just like it's kind of like a win-win scenario for these farmers that you're doing, and it's a way out to start such a good path for them, with giving them making sure that everything is nice and healthy and you're looking out for the wildlife and they can feel good about what they do and still do what they
yeah,
do, um, and be one with the environment and still provide for their family. It's really wonderful.
it's all about uplifting them. If you
Yeah.
Because I've been in this situation associated with the NGO and going there, oh, let's this people are coming which are representing American NGO, but end of the day, if you're just giving them umbrellas and slippers, that's not going to make a big things for them. Because
Right.
like just simple things, because those areas are really really rich, and they growing such a great things like uh, and you cannot apply all the rules there. Like, of course, those there, like for example, we have found one farmers, like a group of farmers which grows the world's strongest turmeric and the strongest ginger which you're drinking right now. So that grown in only in one area on the planet. And if you Google it, the most rainy place on the planet Earth, it is in India. It's not in Amazon or Ireland or England. It's still in India, and
So
they,
cool.
yeah. So the soil is so rich that grows world's strongest turmeric with highest curcumin percentage. It has 7 to 12. Normally, it's organic or anything, it's only 2%. We have like 7 to 12%. And the ginger, I don't want to skip our podcast, but if you try that right now, we can hear you scream what the hell it is. It's really, really
Maybe I'll
strong.
I'll do a after video of me trying some of it. But it's very, I mean, this is so smooth. I mean, it's
Yes, when you make
definitely, I mean, I'm not even kidding. It's the best green tea I've ever had. It's so
when you
smooth
give me a
and it
sip, you'll
really goes
find it.
down very easy, and
Yeah,
um
make your
it's
upper
beautiful
tongue.
and it's a bright flavor too. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So, and of course, I was like, okay, we went there and we see those farmers are hunting those rare falcons. So there's a falcon called
Oh
Amber
yeah.
falcon.
This one.
Yes. So he comes from like part of Mongolia, Russia, and then he crossed China. He comes to this valley, he migrates there, and from there he goes towards Africa, South Africa. So this is all
Amazing.
his route in a whole year, but he only migrates in this area. So, like, of course, those people are headhunters. They call Nagas. Whatever you heard of tribes is the most dangerous one on the
Mm.
earth. Actually, they're more crazy than the people in Mexico or any tribes. So you cannot just go say, okay, just become vegetarian or something. You you cannot
Right.
really fight them. Yeah. So uh, we really actually we try to approach them in the way that we will of course support you by purchasing and buying at a much higher cost whatever anybody ever paid to you, like almost like $30 for a ginger. So it's insane. Nobody People say, "Are you crazy? Why are you doing it?" It's so stupid. You can buy cheap ginger here, and which people do. Like any tea bag you find in your warehouse or in your closet, go tear it off. It may be saying ginger, but the ginger there is cheapest quality flakes. They
Mm.
add some oils in it and stuff that makes the ginger smell. Really, it's just the ginger which is you use in cooking time. But this ginger is very special, and you feel like supporting them. So like, please buy chicken. Just do not eat those falcons. That's it's a humble request. That's all you can do, and that changed
Right.
because they understand the value of money, and everybody's of course if they're growing something, if anybody's there, they all there for money. So if you don't, I think that also needed to be matched. You
Right.
cannot say I'm doing wildlife conservation with an empty stomach. Nobody's going to support those elephants or rhinos or animals. And these people who are doing it, and if you uplift them, if you support them, of course, that's like the best thing you can do, because that boosts that, okay, we are doing good, and this is a good thing. Because
Yeah.
today, if you can talk very well online and stuff, but end of the day, if you go to a forest and say, I'm here to save the animals, they say, it's crazy. So,
Right.
and at
Right.
least in India, I mean, people are with all this overview with the politicians and brainwashing how much you get, and each day they don't really see the value of the nature so much as, of course, the West do more. But still, people need to be more aware about it. I think the people before us, our ancestors, were much aware about all the nature, flora, fauna, and they were more educated. And these days, it's just degrees on the wall. I don't. So we
Yeah.
really need to play with both ways. That we uplift the farmers, we support them, and of course, we also make sure that those animals can fly in, they can cross through those corridors safely.
Right.
And this is the only way, I think.
Yeah, and I think that also, like, I love the importance on just keeping the animals wild, which is the best thing for them, to just let them be in the wild, and making these safe passageways for them. And the people that are in direct conflict, the ones that are dealing with these, it's very easy for somebody like me, right, or like, a Westerner to come in and be like, well, we have to conserve these animals. But
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's I, again, like with a lot of other people that I've chatted with, it's a lot of these efforts are, if you help the local people, you are in turn helping, oh, oops, those
hello.
animals. Amit, sorry, it said it's reconnecting.
Yeah, is it okay? I think it should be fine.
You there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, sorry, it said it was reconnecting for a second. It does that from time to time.
Okay,
um
you can
but
add.
yeah, that's what I love what you're doing, is that it is focused on the people that are down on the ground, that are the ones probably interacting and seeing these animals every day, and just I think that's such a feel good thing too, right? Like that's
Absolutely.
why I think that conservation is an innate spiritual thing because you're
And
helping
it's not
people and you're
crazy.
helping the animals.
Yeah,
So,
thank
yeah.
you. Yeah, it's not just rocket science. Like sometimes I think like, okay, it's so much you need to do and stuff. And then when you really start doing things, it's you feel like it's so simple. As for example, I was like so stressed that some of the options they do for keeping elephants away in Africa, they don't apply in India because of the
Mhm.
behavior of elephants is different. They
Yeah.
have limited amount of spaces. It's not like vast land that you can take photographs from miles away and stuff. It's more like you see
Right.
elephant, they disappears in bush, you see them again. So
Right.
we were trying those, they burn those coast chili. We have we have the strongest chili on the planet. It has 1,000% that's graph of the how spicy it
Wow.
is. So some of them was burning that. So you learned a lot when you travel to those villages. Like what you do is like, oh,
Mhm.
we just burn for chilies and they don't come for weeks because it's so irritating. And
Right.
there was an old man who was in a lemongrass plantation. He's like, oh, what I do is I just play horse sound on my speaker. And as we have a lot of wars happen with the elephants and horses, like back in the days in 1500s
Um,
and 1600s,
yeah.
and he said it works. I don't know why. It's maybe in their genes or I don't know, but it works all the time.
Wow.
So the guy
That's
only had like
fascinating.
a yeah, the guy only had it like a speaker at his plantation. He's like, I just play that time to time. That's it. So at least uh, it it never stops. I mean, the elephant don't come, but one day I saw the tiger, so I don't go openly. So it never stops the tiger, but elephants are scared
Or
of it.
different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's really fascinating and it shows what a good memory they have that it's so instinctual and that it's been passed down
Yeah,
that sound. And what great uses of non-lethal conflict resolution, right? That's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
amazing.
Definitely, and they all have memories. The
Yeah.
main problem started because when the Britishers left, of course, India, they left some part of land for animals, like 30% of it. When they cut down the forest, put the teas, they left 30% for the animals, and which was like chosen for the all the corridors are safe and still more or less you can say. Of course,
Right.
after the independence, we cut down most of it and turned it into the fuel plantations and more. And still, the later in the time, uh, this immigrant workers came, which come from other states. What they do is they start clearing the land nearby that for this established plantation. So they are more dangerous because they chop down small. They see a little forest, they chop down that, and they take over it, and they call it their own tea plantation. And it's very easy for them to influence. Of course, that a group of them is there, so they go strike. Oh yeah, why you moving us and stuff. So it is really really crucial to control those. There are more be 35,000 plus small growers in India, and
Right.
that's like a big number. So the factories are there. Of course, the vast chopped forest, which is like you don't see a tree for miles. It's insane. And then
Oh,
these people also. So both things which needed to be, I think, to be aware about importance and with technology that a lot can be done, like from mapping to like of course you see all the time there train coming and kill the baby rhino, baby elephant, and all
oh,
those things.
yeah.
So with a little help of technology, like now even cars have the radar technology and more focused one. So it's
Yeah,
very easy to
exactly.
yeah. So you can see those. There's an elephant on the track, or you can automate the speed of the train and stuff. So it's all about awareness. If I believe that if people start choosing better products, not by just their labels, but really they go through behind it, and of course the quality also. Then if
Yeah.
they start asking for, let's say, okay, teas for wildlife, we will be able to make changes which last longer, because we don't want to say, yes, we give away $2 million to some other NGOs which give slippers to those farmers, which are
Right.
not there anymore, So if they're not changed, if there's any money for conservation, it should make a change which lasts longer, because
Right.
it has to be there. The change should be, effective for both animals and the workers.
Of
So
course. Yeah. And to stop it where that's where the it's really happening, right? Like that's
yeah,
where, like you said, it's you can save all the baby animals and have them, but the best place for them is in the wild. So to make sure that that's the biggest focus for the future, like you said, that's going to make the biggest change.
yeah,
And one of the other things that you said before too that I thought was so interesting too is these big farmers and using the pesticides and stuff, their soil is getting kind of dead now, as opposed to like, the farmers that you're working with and how they don't use any of those chemicals and their product is better, the soil is richer, and
yeah.
that's also huge because you don't want to kill the soil either. You have to have a rich soil, so yeah.
Ab- Absolutely. I always tell people ask me, "Oh, is your teaser all organic certified?" I was like, I can't. I have those headhunters growing the ginger, which is the best in the world. I can show you the certificate and lab test reports, but I cannot, force them to be organic certified, because the word organic, we need to understand, comes from India. There was a
Mm.
first state on the planet Earth which turns organic because people start dying by cancer. It was in India. They turned organic, and now if I'm supporting a farmer there, of course I get a question, "Oh, you're not organic." I was like, "Do you know what organic is?" Because everything is organic these days.
Right.
And the thing about people need to understand that there's a word which is beyond organic. It's called wildcrafted, which is
Mm.
which is grown in the forest in naturally. It's not even touched by chemicals or anything like that. So about the richness, this is the same ginger which is grown. This is the same turmeric which is grown. It's just because the soil is so rich. It's never been fed by chemicals, fed by all these pesticides and commercialized. This is why that quality of that highest curcuma is there. Even like if I touch it, maybe your package is still a bit yellowish. It's so strong. So it's
Yeah.
all about that. Like, and uh, planting more trees, more local vegetation. It's just so delicate when you talk about nature. It's so delicate, and conservation is of course beyond our reach. And that's why we say we don't save animals; we save their home. They are enough smart to save themselves. And like you say, you need a beetle. If that beetle is gone, you remove that beetle, you cannot get the same quality of minerals into the soil, because the beetle is eaten by this insect, which also fed by bird, and it's all connected. So it's very,
Such
very
a
crucial.
delicate cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and that's what happening both ways, which is very sad, because of course we're destroying that part, and same thing people about conservation. Like, let's say there are all the schemes of government and other people, and they built toilets, for example. And what they
Yeah.
do is the workers have like 10 huts together, and they build a toilet really far. So each night they need to get out of this hut and they need to go to this toilet, which is a bit far. There are hundreds
Wow.
of incidents. There are elephant on the way sitting, waiting for them, and they grab them and throw them on the tree. So it's so,
Uh,
you need to be aware about the situation, because a lot of things which not applies in northeast India do not apply in South India. So
Of course.
It has to be
Yeah, India is a huge
flexible.
country. Yeah.
Yes, it has to be very flexible because the trains are different. The climate is totally different, and as I say, like they also say that South Indian forest, it's called Nilgiri forest, that
Hmm.
some scientists say that also indirectly affect the Japan's weather. So
Wow.
it's all connected. So of course we are nobody to interfere that way. And right now, what is happening? The more demand of coffee is increasing, the more demand of tea is increasing. These private plantations are like big, big shots. They are expanding their plantations deep into the forest, and
Right.
this only can be stopped if people start really aware what they're drinking. First of all, of course, for your health, and also where it is coming from, how it is made. Because if you I want to talk a little bit about teas, that if you're drinking something out of those tea bags, make sure this is coming from very, very cheap labor, coming using petrol machines, chopping from a bud to a leaf to a trunk of a tree, grinding it into a chemical small packet, which is you drinking, which also commits not only bad tea, but also gives you the microplastic out of that tea bag. And it's
Yeah.
not, nothing is paper these days. Whatever you say, it's no, it's paper. You cannot steep tea in your child's notebook because of course it's also
Right.
paper. So it's a lot of
Right.
things. You need to be aware about it. You need to choose loose leaf because of course choosing loose leaf, it's okay. These are marketing strategies that okay, we it will be fast. If you want to die fast, you can choose the crazy chemical plastic tea bags. But
Yeah.
everybody needs to make, if anybody needs to make tea, they all need to boil water, right? It takes few seconds. In the same time, you can
Right.
tear off a tea bag and dip it in your, in your cup, or you can take out a spoon of a tea and put it in your strainer and wait for it. It's all same time. It's
It's
just
I
all
was just
about
gonna say it's very easy. It's not like you're really doing anything that
yeah,
different than you just need, which is better anyway. Like you were saying, it's all of these things are actually better for us and the products, the people, the environment. So it's such a win-win situation. And it's so much easier. Like you just I mean, it's so cool. These I'll take out a piece of ginger now. Maybe it smells so good too, but like in here it's just like you just take I just took a little scoop this morning. I stuffed my unicorn steeper and
yeah,
put it in, and it was just as easy if it were a regular tea bag. But yeah, this
yeah.
is the
This is correct.
right, this is the piece of ginger you're talking about. I mean, you
Yeah,
could
this
see
is
all of
orange.
the
This is orange.
yeah.
Orange. It's orange.
Oh,
It's a
that's the orange. The
dehydrated
oh, I
orange.
was gonna say that does look citrus. Wait.
Yeah, yeah.
So this
Yeah, but do not chew
you
that big. Just tiny bit of it as a tip of a pin.
yeah. I just took a little bite,
Yeah.
but it's cool to you could see like every little bit of it because it's dried. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
If you can
Yeah.
chew, yeah, chew it round so you will understand, yeah, how good it is. So the point is like if even you go open any tea bag,
Wow.
no matter how
Strong.
fancy it is or anything, you don't find this quality of teas or ingredients there because of course when they grow, they order third party, they just put their logo and they put everything in marketing and just taking your money out. And with each cup, it costs you way more with the cheapest ingredients, some oils and stuff. And so we don't use any oils. We have all like herbal teas we developed from brain boosting blue pea tea to the most delicious like green tea, hand rolled black tea, oolong tea, and of course with the turmeric, the world famous masala chai. So we develop all these blends, all hand blended, and no kind of bitterness. I coming from a state, Haryana, we try to make things tastier. It's more like Italian food we have. It's like Italy of India, and
Yeah.
we don't really want to use any fancy oils or anything in that. So whatever you smell, it's the real ingredients. It's no artificial flavors, scents, nothing. It's just pure ingredients, hand blended with the different herbs. And I also want to tell people like there are a lot of magical herbs. I really want you to try. Like I'm not like a doctor or anything there, but there are reports which is out there about each of my claims, whatever I'm saying, that nature is the first medicine. It should not be the secondary medicine. Everybody say nature is, Ayurveda is second and Ayurveda is second. Because any tea, any pill you take or any medicine you take for your brain, it has an extract of Brahmi, ashwagandha,
Mm,
and blue pea. These three
mm,
things are best for your brain. So we make
wow.
some of the blue pea tea, which is 1,300% more antioxidant. It's a brain booster. So it can really, really help you with that. There's another tea which is called Arjun. It's world known fact. There's American research paper also. I will add it to the website soon. It helps tremendously with your diabetes and your heart health. If you have heart issues, you should start that and just see the
Mm,
results after that. It's insane. And of course, if you're sick, ill, or anything, this ginger will enough to kill the sickness or stuff.
amazing.
Yeah, these are just the simple facts. I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming those facts, but I wanted to
No,
try
of
and
course.
test it. Yes, I wanted to try, and as a herbalist, you should see the results.
Hi, wild ones. I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Find Your Wild podcast. This episode is sponsored by my clothing brand, Femme Sauvage, and you can find a discount code and link in the description. So check it out. We have a lot of amazing designs, and $5 of the proceeds goes to different charities. So please feel free to check it out and enjoy the rest of the episode. Thanks so much.
Right there. So it's really
Amazing. This one now, you were talking about the blue pea, right? Is
yeah.
you this is associated with the pied
So
belly snake, and you buy anti venom also
yeah,
for the
well,
farmers, so that
so
way they coexist more better.
that's actually a funny story. Everybody's saying, "Why are you launching a snake tea?" I was like, because there are a lot of death from snake bites, and there's a very remote areas called Jharkhand. That's a state of India, which grows
Mhm.
such amazing lemongrass, and those farmers don't even have slippers, and a lot of them die with the snake bites because it's very remote. So
Wow.
I started this tea, of course, with a dedication that I will, buy out of the produce that I will buy snake antivenoms for those farmers.
Interesting.
So this is the why that tea is dedicated to the snake, and people are scared. Some of them like, why there's a snake on this? I was like, that's also wild. It's as important as a elephant or anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
this is basically the reason there is a tea dedicated for elephant, which is of course, as I explained about Assam, for one-horned
Mhm.
rhino, for from a gibbon, which is the only ape of India. It's
Wow.
found like, in very few places in India, and the whole plantation is taken over. Like, uh, let's say this, uh, they have Little Sanctuary, which has 200 gibbons. It's all surrounded by tea plantation, divided two
Oh
times
wow.
by
Yeah.
a railway tracks. This small sanctuary.
Mm.
So when you really go and you see the only ape of India and you hear the train tracks and train is running through and all these things, it's really doesn't make sense about all conservation and everything. So you really need to
Right.
work towards them so they will be safe in that environment. So we have the gibbons, we have the golden langur, which is also one of the primate. It's almost like human wearing a golden fur.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
very, it's only endangered. It's only found in Bhutan and India in remote forest. And then also we have the great uh, loin-tailed macaque, and which is also like a monkey, looks like a lion. It's really amazing. And
Wow. Cool.
we have one of the world biggest squirrel, which is enough big as your dog, and she can throw and chew the coconut on your head. Yeah, it's really huge
Wow.
with a multi-color.
Wow.
And we have one story behind the great Indian bustard. It's the biggest flying bird of India. It's hardly 80 left these days.
Oh,
So
wow. Yeah.
it's all about connecting those dots together. That's more about teas for wildlife. And end of the
Yeah.
day, people say, "Oh, why just tea? Why not coffee?" So we found one area in India because South Indian coffee is a bit acidic on the throat. So we found one area which grows wild coffee. It's only accessible by hiking, like 3 to 4 hour hiking. You can go and you get
Wow.
those beans. It's really smooth, and with chocolate and citrus hints. I think it's a great coffee. So we also started with that, dedicated to the red panda. It's also one of the
Mm.
most popular animal, of course endangered, and the civet cat, which is
Oh,
more,
yeah.
yeah, which is more like I think the image of civet cat is destroyed by the Indonesian people, calling pooping quack in one of their coffee. Yeah, so yeah, we are not working. We are not selling the poop coffee. We are just selling the real coffee from the plants, but which saving the civet cat which lives on the canopy.
Right.
Because
You don't have to worry. There's not actual animals
yes, there's no
bodily
animal
functions in
pooping.
the
Yeah,
tea. It's just protecting where they
yeah.
live. Yeah.
It is
That
just like
guano coffee.
if you
It's so
go to those
interesting.
plantations, coffee plantations, they're covered with such a greenery because coffee needs shade. So it is
Right.
covered with all this such amazing canopy of endangered species of trees, which is home for red pandas, and sometimes you can find the civet cat and the biggest squirrel, the flying squirrels, and everybody. So yeah, that's a different face, but yeah, this it's all connected, and
Yeah.
that what main goal is to establish some of the first overbridges for the part of India, start some education like opening a schools which can we can educate about the importance of those animals, and
Yeah.
also like provide more vets in those places, health, more health checkups to those kids, to the women who works in the plantations, some more support in any way possible, because
Yeah.
it's very easy to have all these shows going on in the world calling organic, but if the farmers end of the day are struggling, and if the
Right.
wildlife is being pushed in a corner uh, at the extent
And
that they are almost on the edge of extinction, there's just talks about being organic and being sustainable, because really need to do things. That's
that's that's such an important point. And what's the word again that people need to actually look for besides organic? It's wild. What is the phrase again that you said?
you need to ask if you have any wildlife certification, or you just
Okay. Yeah.
simply choose elephant approved logo, or simply choose trees for wildlife, because we make sure
Yeah.
in our project that it all comes from those farmers and from bigger plantations who are already doing good for animals, and of course for their soil to
Right.
make it more fertile and rich for your products.
And that's such a thing that's important for the future too, is to make sure that the soil is rich for future generations of people and our ancestors to be. Um, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you, what's been some of your favorite like wildlife encounters? You said you've seen tigers. I'm sure you've seen elephants. Like, what's been a really special moment that you've had in the wild?
Some of the best, it's always been like the first time I think that was very special. Like
Yeah.
I took a tuk-tuk, it's a three-wheeler in India, and I went to a remote area. Like so I started my journey in the morning and end of the day, evening, only I found like after meeting 10 people, I figured there's an elephant herd moving towards through one tea plantation. So I take a
Mm.
tuk-tuk and I saw them like 100 elephant walking, and there's a male who's alpha who's guiding them, stopping in the middle of the road and like letting everybody go. Then he started walking. So that was, I think, very very amazing. But of course, it was not just the encounter with the wildlife; it was also the women, which was
Mm.
very touching because I was the only one with my phone running towards the elephant. Everybody else was running in the backside, and I couldn't understand at that moment. But only later on I find out that there were two women who died the same day because by those elephants. So which changed a
Wow.
lot in the perspective that it's not just these animals are so amazing and stuff; they also can be destructive, and it's all because of
Of course.
human fault itself. It's nothing to not their fault. So
Of
that
course.
that really changed it. Uh, One of the magical you can see is like I'm seeing those the couple of hollow gibbons, the only
Hmm.
ape of India. Seeing them, it was amazing. And first time when I was in South India, I was just roaming on the road and I saw those squirrels. I couldn't figure out how the dog made up that high on the tree and why he is eating fruits. So it was like very crazy because I never heard or seen such a beautiful big squirrel with red,
Yeah.
orange, purple kind of furs, and it's so big and huge. And there were three of them. So I was like
Wow.
rubbing my eyes, like what I'm saying. Is it an animal or what it is? It was
Right.
quite amazing. And another one with, of course, with the tigers when they really look in your eyes and you have the shivers to your soul because there are some
Yeah.
some some areas where you can go and a tiger comes, they pee in your jeep, and yeah, it's nice. You take pictures, but
Yeah.
some areas are there when you only even see the eyes of the tiger, you get this chillness in your inside, which is quite amazing. I think people need to really feel that. And one was lucky one is when I was with my best friend Yulia, and we were driving, and we lost the path. We went on the other way, and we end up on a tea plantation, which is one of my friend's plantation, which we are working together now. But it has a millions of fireflies in the night, and
Wow.
there was a paddy field in the middle, and there were elephants walking through those fireflies. I think
Oh my gosh.
it's very magical for me. It's like one of the best you can say. So when the elephants walking, they were disturbing that fireflies, and they're kind of all over. Yeah, it's
Wow.
quite amazing. And yeah,
Beautiful.
you need to you just need to feel those events, and that boosts you to work further and further on the hard times to keep
Of
going.
course, yeah, to try to get everybody to have that
Yeah,
personal experience where they can, like you said, like just
yeah,
take a moment and be like, wow, that was a powerful moment just to be able to have
yeah.
this intimate moment with another being, another creature is just it's magical.
It is. It is. We also did like some of the um, like radio coloring in Sri Lanka
Cool.
on some elephants. So that was also amazing.
Awesome.
Like seeing that big guy falling
Wow.
after the shot and then putting in
Yeah.
all the anesthesia and stuff. It's amazing. And then he's like,
Wow.
get up, and I was like, why? There's a thing in my neck. Who put it? It was so cute. Yeah, it's a
Oh,
different
yeah, and they're so
experience.
smart too. They're like, what just happened?
Yes, yeah,
But I'm sure the tracking of them is pretty
it is.
important considering, like you said, it's different than Africa. They just go in the trees and then they're gone. So
Yeah, it is
I'm
very
sure it's very
important.
hard to track them, so that's essential for the tracking collars.
Yeah, it is very important, and of course, as we are struggling these days to tackle another thing, which is called privatization of pets, of wildlife,
Mhm.
basically. You see in India
Right,
a lot of places which are struggling with crazy hot weather, and they still have elephants, and people will start riding them, take pictures with them and stuff. So they need to understand that that's a wild animal which is not there on his will. So people
right.
really need to avoid that. Kind of like I have big request to the of course the visitors from outside.
Right.
Like in India and Thailand, it's hell. So we have some great success these days about awareness, but still, if
It's
that
hard.
if that is done, it is like very amazing. Because of course, those people say, "Oh yeah, let's go and let us show how obedient it is, how nice he is. You can take picture, you can give him a bath and stuff." It's not your teddy bear or anybody. You're not there to feed them pineapples or take a picture or selfie and stuff. No, it's not. There's a wild animals, and
Yeah.
if we keep supporting them, no matter how many die, they always gonna replace them with the babies. So
Right.
it's a
It's
crazy,
important to stop giving them the, you
yeah,
know,
the highlight.
the
Do,
business, and to recognize that
do not
that's
post
not
those
even
pictures.
helpful for the elephants.
Yes,
Yeah.
do not post those pictures when you take them. If even you take them with by mistake, and later you realize the elephant ear was teared off, his feet was chained and stuff. So do not post them because people don't really see. They only see your happy face with the elephant, and they want to might repeat that by coming back to India, which end up in a
Yeah.
cycle. So all about awareness. Like we can use social media these days for such a great causes. We don't really need to, you don't really need to lean down with the elephant, giving him bath in Bali. No, it's just not for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we,
No, there's no need for that.
yeah,
And it also it reminds me of like, having the dolphins in captivity and swimming with the dolphins. It's all very similar. Like, giving the
absolutely.
elephant a bath, like it's not as helpful, or it's not as calming as you think it is. Like, they can bathe themselves,
Oh,
and to
yeah.
not give any attention to these people, and to go see them out in the wild and support the growth of wildlife sanctuaries, seeing them in the wild. That's the best souvenir you can take, is a picture or a video, and you're not taking anything from the wild at all.
Absolutely, and wild is wild.
Yeah.
People go to like all these places, take pictures with the tigers and stuff. I was like, God, that's a tiger. That's a grandfather of your kitty cat. If your cat can scratch your
Right.
hand, he can take out your head. So
Right.
it's a simple things, but yeah, and we also need to aware of the future generations about the importance. And that's why I think building schools will be a great idea in those remote areas. So I think with my friend Michael, who's already building schools he's from New York, they're building school in India and Nepal, and
Oh,
we will
wow.
be having new projects going on, hopefully one day. So
Yeah.
we
That's
can
so
have,
exciting.
yeah,
I'm I'm excited for you guys. You guys are doing really amazing things. Your tea is amazing. I can't wait to try the rest of
thank
them,
you
since I just got
so
it
much.
yesterday. I only got to try one so far.
You can steep it
But
2 times,
yeah,
by the way.
what's that?
You can steep the tea 2 times because it's hand rolled. You can make 2 times
Okay.
the same cup. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Cool. Good to know.
it's definitely.
Yeah. And I love the artwork on there too. The artwork is so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. It's my friend Valentina. She is from Ukraine, and before the war started, we kind of started making those ideas of drawings, and then I give kind of aura around those animals. So
Right.
his original artworks are still in Ukraine. So hopefully that this war stops, and we like to auction those artworks soon.
Yeah, I second
Crazy.
that. I hope so because he does a beautiful job, and I think it really fits with what you're trying
Yeah,
to
he's
do, and it's a
great,
very eye
great,
catching too, along
great
with the
artist.
good product.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
You're
It's
welcome.
all hand blended in a facility which is run 100% on solar powers. No electricity outside is used. We try to have like 300 more plantations of trees on the area. A lot of local birds, monkeys, and everybody's coming here. So it's quite a nice facility. You can always welcome to visit.
Oh,
Yeah,
awesome. That's definitely on my bucket list. So, future goals. So,
definitely, definitely. That would be really
absolutely.
great. Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Amit, for coming on.
Thank you.
Every time I've chatted with you, I feel like I learned so much, and I feel like people listening can really take away a lot from this conversation. So, how do people find you and connect with you if they want to do that?
You can visit our website www.teasforwildlife.com, and you can always connect on you can subscribe to our mailing list, and after that, there's always a contact box. You can always fill that out.
Wonderful.
If you want to order teas, you can also go to the website. For wholesale, we also can do customization. Like we have some of the gifting boxes, like birdhouse box, because we don't want to do something fancy. We end up making a birdhouse box into a tea packet. So once you use all the
Oh,
teas, you
wow.
can use the box as a birdhouse in your garden. It's also like giving back to the society. It is all made by the handmade artisans. Made it like we also have like stainers shape of elephants. So yeah, there are different varieties. You can check out the website. You can always support
Beautiful.
by purchasing, because we don't want to register NGO. We believe that if we better provide best products from the best people and use the profit of sales back in the conservation. I think this is
I
the
love
only way. Uh, it sounds stupid that, oh yeah, give me money, I want to save elephants in India. It's just, who are you? So yes, so
it.
you can always connect,
It's
and we can customize accordingly whatever you need with your logo, with your designs. If you if you have any company, we can write your names, and yeah, we can do customization on all the packaging also.
beautiful. Amazing. That's so wonderful. And I'll make sure to link everything below so it's a little bit easier for people to find you. But thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much
much.
again, and thank you so much, Wild Ones, for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Namaste.
Thank you.
Revel in the moment like a river flowing to the sea. I feel the energy of life force flowing all through me, and I'll allow it all to dance with my body and play. And no one could ever convince me to give my power away. 'Cause the motion of the ocean, it fills my soul, and all the power of the flower.
Try try that coffee and choose this ginger. If anybody is sick, you can take a few pieces of ginger out of it and make sure you have honey with you when you give it this ginger. Do not give
Mm,
anybody bigger piece because they can really scream at you. I,
good
I
to
was
know.
I was
I'll keep that in mind.
I was in Dubai and there was a guy who's selling kombucha made of ginger, and there was a fancy lady Russian presenting his tea stall, and I was saying, "Ma'am, I have something better, some better ginger." What do you mean you have better? I was like, "I have something better ginger." What do you mean? So I was just trying to explain her, and I opened my packet. As I was talking to her, somebody snitched one piece of ginger and take it in his mouth. And he come running with a red face, and I was like, "What did you feed me?" I was like, "I don't know who the hell you are. I never seen your face." And he's like, "This packet, I get things from this packet. I never offered you. So we have to find a honey shop, and we need to stuff this honey spoon in his mouth." It's like he calmed down a
Wow.
little bit. So it's very strong, but you can always shred it on your soup. It's very tasty. And
Oh yeah, my husband is more of the cook in our household,
okay,
but I
that's
think
awesome.
he'll really enjoy being able to have those spices to add to things, besides
Definitely.
using it for our tea. But
Yes.
yeah,
I'm saying like just be careful around it if kids don't take it. It's not harm. It's just spicy. It's no problem with it.
right. I know what you mean. Yeah, I won't give it to my 3-year-old raw.
Yeah. Anybody bothers you, just here. Have something for you in India. Here, the ginger. It'll blow their mind.
Oh, wonderful. I thought it was great, and I thought you were so knowledgeable, and I think that it's really important to get this out there. So I appreciate you
No, thank you
making the
so much
time
for
and
giving me
teaching
the.
us all.
No. It's just my
Lovely.
perspective. I'm not like the expert or anything, but I think that's the truth. If you go yourself, then you can see the same things. And
It's
yeah,
important. We need to hear
yeah,
from like real people that are interconnected together, and that's a really important thing to highlight and bring awareness to. So I'm glad that you're doing that and that we're
thank you
able to
so
have
much.
this conversation. So hopefully more people um can help.
Because these businessmen, they don't know how to train elephant. Only those mahouts do. So if you take those mahouts out of, like, if you kill them, means like if you give them a corporate job, if you give them a servant job or any job other, nobody is there who gonna go in the wild, run behind the baby elephants, capture them, train them, beat them, train them in a pet elephant. Once you take out
Right. You're
this part
stopping
of,
that cycle. That I love the phrase cycle breaker because it's like you're
once you
just
take out
breaking
that
all of these.
Lego, yeah,
Yeah.
once you take out the part of Lego, which is mahouts, same till today, no matter how many NGOs or anybody is active, there's elephant which is smuggled by trucks in night from Assam
Wow.
to South India. It's mostly like 5,000 kilometers. Still today, it's happening. All the elephants which are in desert in India are taken by trucks 5,000 kilometers away. So where's the
Oh,
government? Where's the NGOs or rescues or PETA or I don't see anybody. So because all
yeah.
the animals in the South India temples, you must have seen temple. Everybody's from Assam. No, there's no
Yeah.
elephant in there because they are very
Wow.
small and chubby and stuff. So they use big, heavy elephants from like uh, almost like under the Bhutan map wise. You know Bhutan and
Right.
Nepal,
That yes.
Myanmar,
Yes.
part of China and Myanmar, Arunachal, that area, and they take them
Yeah.
near Sri Lanka this far.
Mm.
It's all taken by truck.
And
So it's a big war to be taken out, and I believe it can be
it's a lot
done.
of knowledge. Yeah, a lot of knowledge that needs to be spread and just like the truth behind all of these intricacies that people don't necessarily even have the chance to realize, which is why I feel like your voice is so important and getting this out there is so important.
Yeah, I really feel that if you just give them a job, like I met a lot of mahouts and they say, sir, if you even get a sweeper job in the college, we will do that. We don't want to do this ourselves. And the end of the day,
Right.
we put them in the jail. But the people who are rescuers, saviors, and stuff, and they're not. I, I'm sorry, but they're not. They're just destroying one family. If a guy
Right.
who's living with the elephant, he's treating them nicely. I know you need to beat them time to time to, put them in the corner because they can always take over. But just showing those beating videos, not that dedication, how he raised the elephant. Raising elephant is very expensive. So
Mm.
the sacrifice goes, the time he put to make him bath in river every day, to take food for him, how much he cares and stuff. It's a lot. So
Right.
you're destroying a family, you calling your save elephant. I know it's one part, it's great, but the same thing you can do is by giving him some education about treating elephant right and giving him medical attention. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is what
Giving him
happened.
another option
Yeah,
because a
like
lot of these people feel like they don't have an option, right?
yes, absolutely. If you're taking him back, of course, treat him right. If you're putting him chain again, just lonely all day, he will die more, like physically, mentally, I mean,
Yeah.
and he will
Yeah.
suffer more than he was suffering. At least he was walking every day. So
Right. Right. It's a hard one. Yeah, you got to break the cycle and then give a good life to those animals that to hopefully, have the rest of that time, but to hopefully not do it again and to break that
yeah,
um going forward.
yeah. So there are a lot of great projects where they migrate this captive elephants with the wild ones, and they break the cycle and stuff. A lot of
Yeah.
efforts are there. But yeah, it's interesting.
Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Oh, I'll show you my statue that I have over here. That's where I keep my Durga statue
Oh, wow,
up in the corner
amazing.
over here.
So that's what I was trying to tell on my talk about our ancestors connected each god with a animal. So Durga, she gives away the power, and the tiger is the symbol of power, the lion. So she rides the lion, and Ganesha is a part of elephant who rides a mouse. His dad
Right.
have a snake. His cousin, his brother have a peacock, Ganesha's.
Mm,
So it was very magical, and everybody these days, even they always, pray hands instead of running when they see a snake. They always,
mm,
peacock is our national bird, but they always
right.
respect. Even the feather is fallen, they don't cross, they never step on it, they keep it away. They always feed it with
Right.
bark. From the mouse
Yeah,
temple
Shiva with the snake,
with
right?
with the third eye, yes. Shiva is the
Yeah.
father of both Kartikeya and Ganesha.
Yeah.
Ganesha is
Yeah.
the trunk head
The elephant.
elephant
Yeah.
head.
I Oh, you know what? It's funny. I keep him upstairs, but I have a brass Ganesha statue because he's
Lovely.
the overcomer of obstacles too.
Yeah.
So,
It
he's
was
been
a
very helpful
it was a quick
in my life. I like to think that he's helped me overcome a couple
it, it
obstacles
is it
having
is
him in
it
the
is
house.
amazing. Yes, Ganesha is also my you can say soul god or something, but it is a quick story that Ganesha was just a child, and uh, her mother, his mother, told him that guard the bathroom while I go for bath. So he was guarding it, and she said, "Don't let anybody in." So Shiva was out. His brother was somewhere else. Shiva came back. He's like, "Where's your mother?" He's like, "She's in the bath. How can I go in?" He's like, "No, she told me to don't go." And nobody. He's like,
Right.
I'm husband. Nobody know. You are nobody else. So he get crazy, and of course Shiva is the god of destroyer. So
Mm.
his nature is of, we have three gods: Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma. Brahma creates, Shiva destroy, Vishnu protects. That's the
Mm.
Sanatana Dharma's three roots. So of course Shiva go crazy. He chopped the head of the kid. So
Oh.
when the mother came, she kind of stopped all life on the planets and it's like, what the hell is going on? Why killed my son and stuff? Put him back to life, otherwise I will chop everybody. So that happened, and after the old gods arrive and they say, please find any recent dead body. So uh, Shiva have Ghost as a servants. So they all go and they found it recently died baby elephant. So they take the baby elephant's head and that was put down and he was revived. And end of the story is he was given blessings so much by everybody. They say it's not matter Shiva, Vishnu, Mahesh, any god. If there are going to be any prayer start on the planet Earth, it's going to start by your name, Ganesha.
Oh, that's
You're gonna be
beautiful.
superior than anybody, and then only the mother takes the crush down, and it's like, okay, it's okay, we'll accept. So that's why you have a face of elephant in the body of a human. It's the story
Ah,
they tell.
that's beautiful.